nigga been feeling like drained. I'm like, God damn, I was energized all week, busy all week, doing a whole bunch of good. And then Saturday night come around here, nigga knocked out.
I know that feeling.
Word. I'm like, hey, what is going on? So that's what it is, man. We got a loaded show today. Man. Pretty heavy topic. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to give some shout outs to some black businesses, by the way. This is the Sean G Podcast Show, Candy Ice, Roddy V. And we do have a guest on the show. Dex is back with us.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, Candy? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Thank you.
And that is a beautiful thing, man. We got a loaded show, but we're going to big up some black businesses before we get loaded. Just to let everybody know, if you a black small business, why don't you go ahead and send me an email at s.gabriel59@yahoo.com. Send me an email and we will advertise your business right here on the Sean G Podcast Show. We think that's a good look for small businesses out there that's trying to get their word out. Do remember, not only are we advertising this on Facebook, we also advertise it on SoundCloud, YouTube, our two personal websites, and various other places on the internet. And if you know, like I know, that's a beautiful thing because people download, people share, and that's just how much more of an extended life your actual advertising will reach. So we got a company here called Credit Card Solutions. Let's just make sure we got the right stuff here. Let's big these guys up here. All right, it's Payment Solutions. All right, if you have a business, if you're a small business owner and you accept credit cards at your business, you definitely want to, well, of course, you got to accept business cards at your business. You definitely want to get in contact with these brothers that accept credit cards at your business. If you need a credit card processing machine, these brothers will hook you up with that. They'll hook you up with the terminal. They'll hook you up with the compatibility of the terminal. And they offer this for free with no hidden charges, low processing rates. So, like I know, if you got a Square device or some other type of device, or you don't got no device, you're a business that's just starting out and you're looking to be able to take credit card payments with your business, you want to get in touch with these people. The telephone number to call is 855-422-1603. Again, that's 855-422-1603. They giving away free terminals. So the actual thing that you put your credit card chip in and the one where you swipe your credit card, these are the people. If you need that type of machine for your business to accept credit card payments, they give away free machines. So you don't have to pay for the equipment. It's free. And it's a very low processing rate. So, you could be paying a cent or something like that, or maybe, $1 or something. It's very cheap to actually do a transaction. So that's a good thing. And there's no hidden charges. So, again, get in touch with these guys. The number is 855-422-1603. This is a great business. I do business with them a lot. They hook up, they take care of me, and I'm very happy. So if you're a business owner out there and you're looking to accept credit cards, get the free state-of-the-art equipment, start saving on your processing fees today. The number to call is 855-422-1603. HarborTouchProvisions.com is the website. Get ahead and check those guys out and get started today. All right, so like I said, if you're a black business, get at us. Hit us up on the Sean G Podcast Facebook page. Hit us up on our website at the Sean G Podcast Show.com. and go ahead and send us an email at s.gabriel59@yahoo.com. We're going to be promoting black businesses right here, small, medium, big, whatever the case may be. We putting you out there like that. Also, what we have coming up starting next week, I believe we're going to be doing some digital showcasing, which is going to be exclusive for unsigned artists. It's going to be on a Sunday. There's a lot of big things going on for that. I don't want to give it all away, but we're going to be doing that as well. So if you're an unsigned artist and you're looking to get your music heard by a few million people, you definitely want to get at us. Again, go to the website, the Sean G Podcast Show.com. There's a button there where you can click on it to actually sign up to the competition. But, stay with us, and we'll be putting up some more information on that as the week come along. So, it's a lot of things going on out there, man. A lot of shit going on, man. But today's topic is the black girl lost. 14 young black African American girls have been kidnapped in Washington, D.C. area. I'm hearing numbers like 501 missing cases from the start of from the beginning of 2017. And this is crazy, man. This is crazy. It's definitely going on. It was a post that came out, I believe, via Instagram that went viral. And there are a lot of sources that saying that the actual number of 14 is not accurate. However, the number is a lot higher when you look at the overall sense from the start of 2017. So there's something going on out here. There's a lot of different publications that's talking about this now, but we are not getting no news coverage, no mainstream news coverage on this particular topic. Well, on this particular thing that's going on with these children being snatched off the street. Now, y'all know, like I know, growing up in the 90s, kidnappings has always been a thing that, has been a reality that parents, families been having to deal with. This is not nothing new. But when you start talking about kids are disappearing in a 24-hour span at the rate of 14, 10, 14, some numbers they saying 14, that's the number I've been hearing. Some people are saying, some sources are saying, some police department sources and some other writers are saying that that's not 100% accurate. But at any rate, if it's 10, 11, 12, it's just too much in that short period of time, which leads me to think that there's a strong possibility that all of these occurrences are connected and that there's something that's going on out there that needs to be addressed. We need to get some national coverage on this. The news need to pick up on this and start putting this out there. And so we're going to talk about it today, man. We are going to talk about this today, and we're going to try to get to the bottom of this. Of course, all of the facts are not out yet, so there's no way for us to know fully, but we do know these girls are missing. There's an article floating out there with some pictures that are floating out there, and if I'm correct, the picture of the actual story is some of the girls are from the past. So, it's not, like I said, it's not all the way accurate. But in any event, this shit is disturbing, and I think we need to get some national. I'm hearing that some Congress people and some officials are starting to look into it, and they sending it up to the FBI right now. So, social media is putting a push on it. They putting the fire to motherfuckers' asses because it's been taken lightly. And so We got Candy Ice on here. Y'all already know the first lady of the Sean G podcast show is with us every week. We do this. We do this every Monday, 7 p.m. Roddy V is up on here, and we got our special guest, Dex, entrepreneur, financial advisor, and expert in a lot of different areas of finance. And we're going to talk about this, man. You know, this is alarming. This is very alarming. Roddy V, have you been hearing about this story, man? About these girls being missing? And I guess the question I want to ask going in is, you know, we grew up in the 90s. We used to go to school back in the days when we had to walk through, we went to school in the 80s. We was walking through parking lots, abandoned lots to get to school in the mornings by ourselves. And at some points, we used to take walks, you know, maybe 10, 15 minutes from where we lived, 20 minutes, 25 minutes from where we lived. And back in those days, you know, the streets were crowded in the morning. There was a lot of people outside. So for somebody to snatch somebody, it would have been kind of hard. You know what I mean? And so you start to ask your questions. Well, how is it happening? You know what I mean? Where is it happening? You know, what's going on? And just by me just getting my mind wrapped around this reality, this stuff that's happening, I start to ask a whole bunch of questions to myself. Like, yo, how the hell, if you think about it from watching movies and shit, and we'll use movies as a example, you always see the man pull up in a van real fast, skirt up. Maybe the kid is walking down a dark alley or something on a quiet block where there's nobody. And one person to jump out and the next person to jump out and throw the kid into the van. Or you hear stories of, a man on a block pulling up alongside of a young kid with a candy bar or some crazy shit. Hey, I got some candy. Yeah, you want some cookies? You want some cake? You know, all kind of crazy shit like that back in the day. You used to hear how the actual, kidnapping took place. So my question is, Roddy V, how is it? Do you think social media has a lot to play in the area of the reason behind these snatchings? Or do you think this shit is just happening? It's a plot, it's a plan. Somebody is, a crew of people is just lined up like, yo, this is what we need. I mean, you hearing all kind of stories out there about, sex trafficking, you know what I'm saying? The selling of body parts, organs, and stuff like that. There was a little story of a young kid who was found after being kidnapped. When they found him and they did the autopsy on his body, all of his organs was missing. So this is some real serious shit, And the question is, how is this happening? Because when you have so many at one point, they saying 14, some saying less, whatever. If you got 10, if you got 3, if you got 5, shit, if you got 1, it really doesn't matter. But to have that many occur in such a short period of time, you have to ask yourself, how is this happening on the streets? How are these kids being snatched off of blocks? Yo, one kid is missing. He gone. Where the hell he at? Man, my kid ain't been home in 3 days. He missing. Another kid, Sandra, my kid missing too. Angie, my kid missing too. And all these parents are starting to come together within the same neighborhood saying that their kids are missing. So within that alarm, the other 5 or 10 people that something is going on, let's all be vigilant. Today we got cell phones, all these cameras out there, all this shit that's going on as far as technology. You mean to tell me ain't nobody seeing nothing? Roddy V, do you think this has a lot to do with social media? What the hell is going on?
I mean, excuse me. In the sense of the van pulling up on the block and snatching a kid, or
you remember that scene?
And offering a candy bar. The internet is now the van, the candy bar. I mean, and I don't. Let's not start mass confusion by saying these kids are getting snatched or kidnapped, because we honestly don't know for sure that's the case. You know,
Allegedly.
they're gone. Yeah, allegedly, they're gone. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
But the reason why they're gone has yet to be seen. I watched that new commander in D.C. She did a Facebook post where she was talking about the issues that was going on out there. I mean, and of course, look at the numbers; they're alarming. But when you see the reason why they seem so alarming is because the tools that they're using to get the message out. You know, they post they post their most major missing cases on their Twitter feed, and they're posting them every day.
Right.
So when you put this out there every day, yeah, people's eyes start to get awakened. But a lot of these kids are being found. A lot of them have left voluntarily for whatever reason and have been returned. From what I'm reading, or from what I've read, the latest what I've read, there's currently only 55 open missing cases out there from the 501 reported.
Right.
So I mean, again, like you said, one is way too many.
Absolutely.
Now, I would say this: the you see how when you said back in the days, if one of your kids were missing, you know. They say, Sandra, hey, my kid missing. I ain't my kid missing. You don't have that these days, because the parents are not talking to each other like our parents talked to each other back then. There's not that community feeling. It's not there. Everybody is much more distant. The kids. You could be in the same room and feel like you're alone with certain people once they're on these phones or these iPads, these computers, these devices, and they get alienated into this digital world and get talked into doing whatever. However these predators entice them to make them want to leave their house and be vulnerable in that way, because it's not like it was back in the day. Kids, I mean, yeah, you still have it. Kids getting snatched off the street, but it's not in abundance. Kids are getting lured now. They're not getting snatched. They're getting lured out the house. They're willingly going to these predators.
That leads me to my next question. Candy Ice. They're being lured. Does social media have its hand or in this? Is this the tool that's being used? Do we think?
Actually, I think the adverse. If you really do your research on this topic, you'll see that the proportion of African American Latino women that go missing every year has always been high. In fact, it's actually down this year.
Right.
We should thank social media for bringing it to a forefront. So what has happened is this has always been a problem, but now the world's literally at our fingertips, and now more people are bringing attention to it via social media and starting a movement. So I don't think social media has much to do with more people going missing, because some of the girls that are missing in DC right now are age 10. Doesn't mean they're not on social media, but I doubt they were going out on a Craigslist call. They are being profiled, actually helping being a proponent for change, because this is the problem. When you really look at it, there are way to thousands of girls that go missing every year. Now, some of them are declared as runaways, and some of them may very well be running away. When you're talking about girls that are ages 10 and 11, most likely not. Right. These girls didn't necessarily all live a troubled life. They're victims of something, and they more likely are being targeted. Clearly, they're being snatched. Now, one thing to consider, because it is also proven that when European or white Americans go missing, it does get more coverage. But I had to think about that. And I can't say that that's all the media's fault. It kind of goes back to what we talked about weeks ago, like how, white people in America are set up different because, you look historically and how we just became free and first college. But back in the day, like you said, if the wrong truck ran up on your block, everybody knew it wasn't supposed to be here. But it's not the same sense of community. People don't have that kind of pride in their neighborhoods anymore. Not the neighborhoods these girls are going missing from.
I feel like I'm so out of touch, which I know I'm not, right? But when I hear the thing that the times are so different, I understand that. I respect that, and I know what you're saying is real. What Roddy V saying is real. You know what I'm saying? But Candy Ice, just how you said it, it's not the sense of community. I would think that the people that's doing this, or however it's being done, have an understanding that very fact, that's the carrot, that's the knowledge that they have as well. So when we put into play what we need to put into play to make this happen, it's gonna be easy. I'm gonna get at you, Dex. What's going on, man?
Well, so let's break down the system of actually what's going on with this particular, in my opinion, is an epidemic, right? When a scheme like this is so elaborate, there are people in higher places to make this happen. So it's just not as if it's you're talking about D.C. This is an urban community, still urban. It's not like you're talking about rural America. There's people out on the streets all day, every day.
It's still some type of sense of concrete.
Yeah, people.
It's urban. It's an urban.
Urban.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's the thing: social media is a big part in terms of luring these young girls into these predators, into their lion's dens, if you will. And in my opinion, what's going on? These little girls are being lured in by social media. Not so much from. Oh man, it's crazy because this thing is, when you're looking at this is a big scheme that's set up by not just one person. This has to be a group of sick-minded individuals. And being that the scheme is so elaborate, they're pretty high up. This is not no ranky-dink type operation. It's been thought out well, and it's been executed well. The reason why media is not covering it is because they don't want to cover it. In my opinion, maybe some people in media got something to do with it as well, right? Because there's a fact you do have in America, in these remote places, where they have sex dungeons, where they enslave these young girls and do all type of crazy, just sadistic stuff to people.
So wait a minute, and I don't mean to cut you.
Right.
Social media has something to do with it. You know what this shit sound like? This sound like to me that there is some you're Roddy V. It's like some agents out here. You know what I mean? Some shorties out here. The old rinky dink is taking place. We gonna give y'all some bread. Y'all go out there and get these broads in a comfortable place so they never go back home. Cause how you law that? You dig what I'm saying? Like, they talk back in the day about slavery and all that, and a lot of times what a lot of people don't know, and what a lot of people do know, is a lot of black people help. Back then the white people enslaved the black man. So the black man went in there and enslaved the black man and took him to the white man. Way back 100 years, back then and there. So this will lead me to think, what we saying here? there's some young chicks that's savvy out here that's bringing them to a spot. Yo, girl, you gonna get paid, girl. And when they come up in this spot, no phone,
Well,
no
yeah.
way out. They just disappear.
I don't think that's the case.
But Dex, go in a little bit with what you were saying, because I'm just trying to, I'm just reaching a little bit, but I'm trying to get some understanding.
Yeah,
here.
the reach. No, I mean you're not reaching because again, these young girls are definitely being lured by something. Now, as you were stating before, many hundreds of years ago, when slavery existed, the white man just couldn't come to Africa and take these slaves.
Right.
They're coming on ships.
Right.
So they needed there were other black African men who were catching other tribes and selling them off to the white man. So they were acting as if they were the agents. So that's how
Exactly.
how the slave. Right. So that's how that went down. Now, this particular scheme, in my opinion, there's somebody or some bodies luring these girls. Back it up to social media. Not even social media. Let's just look at pop culture. You have today's time where you have a lot of reality shows that are teaching these young girls how to be very rebellious, right? The mindset of these teenage girls are unbelievable right now. Unless you have parents in the household that's really staying on top of these little girls. They're worse than the little boys nowadays. So, the way the system, from a psychological standpoint, you go deep and start peeling back the layers, they say, okay, you know what? Let's start programming. Let's program these girls to be rebellious. That's one step. Now, once they're rebellious, they're subject to do anything. So now that they're on social media, they see something. I'm just using this as a theory.
Right.
They see some female, hey, she may look like she about her business, young female, looking good, nice car. She befriends her. This girl, she's looking to her as a mother figure.
Right.
Hang out. Next thing, now they taking the element of okay, what's up with the cell phone? Maybe the cell phone can track. What's up with tracking the cell phone? Well, they can't track the cell phone because they didn't have this thing so systematic planned out to where the young girls will leave their cell phones behind somewhere else or not even take their cell phones. And when they take them to a location, game over. Because, again, it goes back to a rebellious spirit. This thing has been programmed. I mean, when you look at the reality shows, that's all they teach these little girls. That's how to, I'm going to do me. I'm going to fight. I'm going to do what I want to do. It's a setup. Now, it's unfortunate that no one stepped in to stop this because if this doesn't stop, it's going to get worse. Now, what people don't know is one, sex trade is definitely that's definitely real for these sick mindsets that's looking learn onto these young black little girls. And also, what people don't understand is that us as black people, from an organ standpoint, we have the stronger organs. Our heart, liver, lungs. When people get transplants, they always need and have to get the organs of a black man or woman.
Yo, this shit is getting this is getting real. This is getting real deep right now. Go ahead, go deeper, Dex.
So that's a fact. So if there's sex trade in it, after they're finished with these young girls, the next process is they're done with them. Now they got their organs. This is a big business for these sick mindsets. Now the problem with that is this: they're training our young black girls to be rebellious. And here's the next thing. Next thing is little girls. Here's going to be the flip side. Next thing is going to be the little boys. Because here's what they're doing. They're training our little boys to be sissies. Right?
Speak
so
on
now,
it.
So now, the little boy is a sissy because, in the 80s and 90s, we were militant. We're not trying to hear that. So if you sissify a black boy, guess what? when you snatch his ass up, lure him, he's sissified. He ain't got no power in him. So the setup.
Hold up, man.
The setup is so advanced. We're talking about, and people think it's this is it. In my opinion, these are people that sit in very high positions, that have very sick mindsets. There's no mystery that very, very wealthy people, that's easy. And I want to say, look, white men have these sick fetishes and fantasies and setups. This has been going on for years.
But let me ask you though, because everybody across the board has some valid points here, and I have to touch on this. Do you not even true or false, but do you believe, because with the rebellious, this young lady, I'm not going home, I'm hanging out with an older dude, I'm doing me, Mom Dukes is probably not really on top of her game, in the, you know what I mean? There's Mom Dukes, Pop Dukes, they're not really looking after these kids like they're supposed to, so the kid is rebellion. So some of this is probably not foul play, is what you're saying? Some of this, because we know a lot of it is, but is there a case of some of this stuff not being foul play, where these girls are just walking into it willingly? Do you think that's a possibility?
Never. Walking into...
Because they're rebellious. They're rebellious.
Yeah, they're rebellious, but not. They're rebellious thinking because, they want to... Because, the way how...
No, I understand. Right. No, I understand.
They're not... And they knew they were walking into sex trade, and then after that, being dead, and then organs being chopped out their body. No, they wouldn't do it. It's just like anything, you got to lure them in with the candy first.
Right.
And once they in, they in. So, media, if the problem was to me, that's mind-boggling to me, not even social media, but mainstream media is not covering it. They don't see that as if it's a problem. So the way I look at it, I'm like, why don't you guys see this? This is not to you guys. It's not a problem. So if they don't, if they don't see that as a problem, then I have to, I'm like, okay, you don't look at this as a problem, then that suggests to me that you're in on it too. Because if it were a white little girls being taken the way that these black little girls be taken, then it'll be an uproar on social media. So evidently, they don't have value on our black little girls. There's no value. They see them as objects, just as they have seen us hundreds of years ago in slavery as just objects.
So they are worse. They're worth less to mainstream media, and this is why we're not getting coverage.
Worthless, and they're worth less, but worth more. Yeah.
Gotcha. Candy Ice?
I don't know if that's a fair statement, because it'd be different if this wasn't happening for years, but this has been happening for years. Social media put it to the forefront, but it's been disproportionate amongst missing women that has been Black and Latina girls for almost, in fact, it's trending down this year. For at least the last 5 years, this is the first year it's trending down. Of course, as a Black woman, I have to say that there's never the same value given to something happening, unfortunately, to an African American person as there is to a white population. But I can't say, oh, it's crazy, why aren't we covering it? Because of now, in my mind, it's crazy. Why is this just being brought to the forefront? I feel like that's the bigger issue. If this has been happening for years, why is it now? Why is it now that we're just starting to worry about it? Because these are somebody's kids. These are girls that never come home, and that's real. As a mother, I can't imagine. I can't fathom it. But this has been going on for a very, very long time. It's just that now it's at the forefront, which is good. But like I said, why did it take for tweets Twitter, now the FBI may get involved. And still the question mark with that may. And why aren't we hearing more background of the stories of how they went missing so other women can take precautions for their children?
Well,
Because that's what I really
yes.
want to know.
Yes. Well, they're going to have to now. They're going to have to now.
They're going to have to, because I don't just want to know where they are. Of course, I want to know where they are, but I want to know how all of them got smashed so we can look at similarities in the cases.
Right.
Is it within a certain zip code? Is it a certain time of day? Is it on their way home from school? We don't know any of these things.
Well,
Yeah, you gotta profile it.
Well, when you look at
profile it properly.
Well, when you look at, the DC neighborhood block setup, it's like the 100 block, the 90-something block, this block. So it's still in a very close, it's in a like a circle. It's in a close radius of where this stuff is all taking place. You know what I mean? So it's not like a widespread based on, this teen is from the 100 block of this northeast such and such. This teen is from the 120 block of north such, east such and, so it's not I don't believe it's, because I don't know the landmark of DC, so I can't, accurately say, but it seems to me that this is happening within, let's just take Randallstown for instance, right? So it's just happening within the Randallstown area. You know what I mean? So, maybe on the Liberty side, that's the far end towards the Gwen Oak area, and then further up towards the, getting into another part, that's the other side. So it's still within a close proximity of the area where this is happening. So definitely, with 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, they're gonna, I would think people would definitely have to pay attention on another level at this point. Candy?
I mean, we have to be paying attention on another level, but from what and let me be honest, I just started doing more research on this when we got the topic to the show.
Yes.
And apparently it's not just DC.
Right.
It's Chicago, it's Detroit, it's big cities. So
it's all these inner cities.
Mm-hmm.
How many actually? Do anybody know how many actually was the accurate number of missing that was in that pocket of the 24 hours in DC? Was it more than 4 or 5? Do we know?
I do not know.
No, for what I'm reading, it only seemed that way because of the way it was released on their Twitter page.
Right. That's what I'm getting to.
It may seem like that's not so close together, but I don't think it was. I mean, that would have caught, that in of itself would have caught, and that's newsworthy right there. News people would have been on that.
Right.
For five girls disappearing, there's nowhere in hell you can just ignore that in a 24-hour span. Somebody that would hit the news.
Someone, right. And then you're looking at these inner city. I mean, it's definitely a plan that was thought out very properly, because every last city that Kenya's named, these cities are. I mean, there's poverty like crazy in these cities amongst our black people in it. So it's easy for someone who looks like they're about something and to lure these young girls.
Okay, so
easy.
According to Black and Missing Foundation, right? Most women, I guess these cases are disappearing in the states of New York, Georgia, North Carolina, Maryland, and Florida. And this is based on the Black and Missing Foundation. I don't know who they are, what publication is that, but this is their findings. But
but I have something to say about the fact we keep saying being lured. We don't even know that at this point. How do we even know? Because let's be very real.
We don't know. That's a fact. We don't.
They could be snatched. We don't know that. Those little girls, some of them girls 10 years old, just smart. All right? At 10 years old, it is not that easy to lure any kid with candy. 10, another girl was 11 that I just read about. They might not be they're getting snatched.
Well,
you need somebody to come and snatch you.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, I mean, and that's, see that there it
that's
is,
real.
there it is. We definitely got to ping pong off of that right there, cause I feel what you're saying 100%, Candy. Um, that's why my question is, I'm trying to figure out what all of this is going on. Is like, again, we don't know the number, so we just gonna throw a number out there. Let's just say it's 5 in that area. I have to believe that
Can't snatch 5.
you can't snatch 5 and then snatch it. Well, you can't snatch 3 and then snatch another 2 that easy. Cause by the time 3 gets snatched, the jig is up.
Exactly.
Word is out there.
So one is out there.
Police is
So
swarming.
there's something systematic going on.
It's something sophisticated
there's
going
an
on
elaborate
here.
plot. Yeah, for sure. These are not simple mindset.
I mean, and let's just say this. Let's and again, we don't know, but it leaves me to believe that there's something sophisticated going on, even if there's 5.
Yeah. It has to be sophisticated because no one knows.
1 or 2, maybe. 3, 4,
So how hard
5.
are they looking? How hard are they looking to know when this is something that happens every year? So
Well,
it may be sophisticated.
True.
It might
True.
be sophisticated.
Right.
But this is not news. So it's
Well,
getting a lot of attention now, as it should have. But we don't really know if this. I mean, I would think it's sophisticated just because of the number. There has to be people with, clearly they have a whole different agenda. But the sad thing is, because there's so many missing cases, and this is what it really is, there's so many missing cases annually that, they look for a minute and then they leave it alone. There was a 10-year-old that went missing, the same 10-year-old that went missing in D.C., they didn't even put out an Amber Alert for her. Wow. Wow.
That's crazy.
So because we have such an influx, we don't even know any of the facts. We don't even know any facts that could help somebody else from being taken to, or I'm not saying taken, but whatever.
Right.
Whatever
Well,
happens.
We don't know. Go ahead, Dex. You want to? Go ahead.
We don't have the facts. The only facts that we do know for sure that these little young black girls are being either 1, lured in, or 2, snatched up. So, what we need to do as people, we need to make our children more aware of these type of predators because it's real, and that's when the parenting comes into play. Because they don't know. These little girls are, and today they're very, like I said, rebellious, naive. They come off simple-minded. And it's just because the way this media has programmed their mindsets. So it makes it very easy. Even when I'm out handling my business, I see little girls walk down the street and adults do it too. But I see little girls with they head planted in the cell phone, just walking, not paying attention to nothing else, in that cell phone. So it's easy for them to get got. It's real simple. It's just something that a conversation each parent needs to have. It's not a parent, someone needs to have school teachers with these young kids to let them know, hey, you have to be more vigilant, because you got people out here who really want to hurt you. Don't think everything is sweet out here.
I mean,
it's not.
And like I said, I just have to go back to that, the fact that, 1 or 2, and yes, this is nothing new. This is nothing new. The only thing to me that's alarming is the fact that, they saying that it took place in an area of it wasn't just one case. It was, 14, man. 14 in one area. So even if we just say, all right, that's all a lie. It was 10. It was only 10. That's a lie too. It was 7. It's still like you still have to ask yourself this question, man. How did you steal 7 girls in a small area, man? And that's my only
Water.
in the DC area without it being extreme heat,
Steam.
extreme heat. Dudes on point out there, or just the kids are just they just not even coming out. They being protected.
Look at DC.
But
You got
there's
churches
also
on the block. Right.
Go ahead, Roddy V.
My bad.
there's see I mean there's also this it can also be this as well. Some of these young girls or kids, because kids young girls, some of these girls, they can possibly left the home voluntarily, not to meet with anyone. Maybe have just truthfully run away, and then got caught up.
Yeah. There's so many scenarios that you can think about.
And
I think
saying that some of these girls ran away, and probably some of them did it, but the little kids, I don't believe that.
Not those 10, 11 years old now. Where they going to run to? They don't even have the mindset to do that yet. Maybe like a 16, 17-year-old, but not a little 10, 11. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also
they don't have the mindset to run away, but they do. They're vulnerable enough to get lured away.
Right.
well that's what
I
I'm
agree on
saying,
that.
because there is an age. There's a between the ages of 13 and 17, based on the reports that's out there, right? When they sizing up the profile of these kids, the name and the age or whatever the case may be. So it's between the ages of 13 and 17. But DC is the nation. DC is the nation's capital, man.
Capital. Hey, and not only that.
Out of all places to pick on, come
all
on.
places. You're talking about all the politicians. I mean, I can go deeper on that, but I'm not going to touch that. But the reality of you're talking about D.C., which is, this particular district is so small, man.
It's
not like you're
small,
dealing with
right?
California or Texas. This
Or
is a
New
small-
York. You know,
You
you talking about, let's take Queens as a borough. And for those that's listening, people know New York, but they don't know the end of New York. They don't know how big boroughs are. So let's just break that shit down. Jackson Heights. Nah, fuck that. Long Island City.
no, wrong city. Yeah.
That's damn near right next to Manhattan, right?
Mhm.
And in the same borough of Queens, you can go to Rosedale. Yo, that's a fucking 50-minute ride, almost an hour ride in the same borough.
Yeah, you're dead right.
In the same borough. So if something happened in Rosedale, I could see you not knowing a goddamn thing about what's going on in Long Island City.
And Long Island
For
City.
sure.
But when you talking about something as small as DC, a few blocks or some box of an area,
Yeah.
and then you want to put it out there like, oh, y'all gonna pick on us like shit sweet around here as far as the government agencies are concerned, right?
And
Y'all think
and
we
mind you,
right?
yeah, and mind you, D.C. and those areas get surveillance all
All
around
the time, just off the strength of all of that,
surveillance,
right?
cameras, everywhere.
So,
Even,
this is. I'm glad you brought that point up because now it sheds a little bit of laughter there. It's still a serious situation, but it's like, yo, how do you got the president moving around, the vice president's moving around, all kind of Congress moving around.
like this is all of them there.
Yeah, but the president transport none of his routes. Drag him through
No,
the
we know that, Roddy V,
No,
but we just talking
right,
about in a general sense. Now, let's be real, because I can hear people saying, well, shit, niggas get killed in D.C. too, nigga. And that's right, and they sell crack right up the block from all them places you
From the
talking
White
about.
House.
So what you saying?
Right. Still doesn't take the fact of the matter. They still have cameras everywhere. People got cell phones everywhere. So,
It's just,
something.
yeah, it's
You
something.
telling me they just vanishing just like that? You know what I mean? Nah, something is going on where, these particulars, this is like, they're nurturing these girls, man. Some of them, they're being nurtured. And those that listen, the ones that's being nurtured, I mean, it's like, it's a selling process. You nurture them properly so you can get them into a position where they can't get out. So you're going to nurture her. You're going to show her that, hey, this is having a good time with us. And they're going to do a few times with them. And next thing, they're going to get them. You know, they're going to show them a good time, and they like it, give them what they want. And next thing, they coming for their last ride. It's a situation that they never thought they would be in. And that's just the way it works.
A buy and bust.
Yeah. You know? And
Candy Ice.
Like, I work in downtown Baltimore, and one of the things that we try to do is raise awareness with our residents, and so we send out things like, like tips for safety. But here's the one that always gets me: is don't walk down the street with your head just in your cell phone. You make yourself a target.
Right.
You know, and these are things that you just said it, but it's just so true that, you know, we need to be telling our children. You always have to be, and it's a sad thing, but your awareness has to be heightened. It's pretty much all the time, but especially when you're out your immediate area of comfort. If you are not in your immediate area of comfort, then you got to double that all the time. And we can't just be worried about, like, oh, what's right in front of you. Unfortunately, it's not a day and time where you can trust anything. If you see something suspicious, that's why I laughed at the movie. I'm not going social to find out what it is. I'm going to make moves the other way. They laughed at me at work a couple years ago because I saw some things flying too low. I came in like, I'm about to make moves. I got to go. Like, something's not right.
You feel a vibe.
Yeah. So you can make a choice. But I have my own family, so you know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Right.
With that, but you got to instill that in your children. I'm very
cautious
about if something doesn't look right, then it's not right. If something don't feel right, then it's not right.
Always follow your first mind, Candy.
Right, and that's not to say that's any of those girls' fault, but that's something that we have to do better with as a culture. I mean, we have raised awareness now because with the fact that, you know, so many black men were getting killed by police. So now must start teaching our kids what to do when they see the police, right?
Right.
We got to do the same thing when it comes to all these missing girls.
Well, that leads me to the point. When we come back, we're going to take a break. We're going to get a stretch so we can stretch here. We're going to play some Nobody Like You by Sean G. And when we come back, we're going to talk about, for some of these sisters out here, we're going to be talking about how they could better prepare for stuff like this, some of the things that they need to be. And we also want to talk about this new thing that's going on where there's people out there posing as contractors and all kind of different things, giving kids or giving people, women, particularly women, cards with chemicals on them. And once they get into their vehicle, the chemical is so strong it knocks them out. So, you know, so much stuff going on out there. So we're going to get into a little bit of that, and also talk about what can these parents do, you know what I mean? A little bit more in depth on what we should be doing out here. All right. So this is Sean G and Ben Franklin. The name of the song is Nobody Like You. Check it out.
Are you for real? You can't be serious. Are you out your mind? You gotta be delirious. Ain't nobody like you. Nobody like you.
Been wanting to hold you for such a long time. Visions of you, girl, just sticks on my mind. Want the real thing, boo, can't we combine? Have a candlelight dinner sipping on wine. I feel this time, this shit love is genuine. It's fine, can never get caught wasting my time. I've been playing games and looking at you, hoping to catch you, looking at me too. You probably did a spell, I even did voodoo. See, whatever you did, it was meant for me and you. Let's get it on through, line up a rendezvous. Don't tell your friends for this, I don't need a crew. All I wanna do is hug you, kiss you and caress you. You're special, that's why God will always bless you. All I wanna do is be with you, and why not? I came to live my life with you. the things you do for me, I do it for you. See you the girl of my life, and dreams do come true. And when you call on me, I will come through. You know, I ain't gotta cheat on you, break your heart, beat on you. I just wanna be with you. You have the kids, I marry you. Look at where we came from, look at what we've been through. Give me kids, baby. I will always be with you, I will always hold you, I will always pray for you. It's like I love you more than a doctor love the hospital. Girl, you're my best friend. Your love is like a weapon, your love like a mystery. Just like the Father blessings, all I wanna do is hug you, kiss you and caress you. You're special, that's why God will always bless you. All I wanna do is be with you, and why not? I came to live my life with you.
You can't be serious. All you want your mind. You gotta be delirious.
Let's go.
Y'all ready for the uncut, the unfiltered, the raw? Put your headphones on and get ready for the Sean G Podcast Show.
Yes, indeed. We back at you. This is the Sean G Podcast Show. Y'all drop a comment below. Let us know what y'all think. Topic is Black Girls Lost, the DC-14. Girls that went missing. It's a really heated topic, very big topic, serious topic. And we're just trying to get to the bottom of, not to the bottom because we don't know all the facts yet, but we're trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. You know, a lot of us, you know, have children. I myself don't have any. The guests on the show all do. So you guys know what it feels like to raise a child, you know, a young girl, Roddy V itself, Candy, Dex. What are we going to have to do as parents out there? What is the message that we need to send out to the parents out there to be vigilant in, you know, what's going on? What are the steps? What type of tools? What type of teachings? What should we be telling our children at this moment right now, Candy Ice?
Well, first and foremost, we always need to tell our children to use their common sense first. I always tell my daughter, if something does not look right, then it's not right. You can't just trust everybody, unfortunately. She's 17, but if I'm not home, she don't need to answer the door.
Word.
She can look after people and see who it might be, but if she doesn't recognize them, she don't need to answer the door. Don't put yourself in situations that put you in situations, if you know what I mean.
Word up.
Like it's not the 70s where it was free love and people were all about peace. They're not, and people's intentions are not good. So I think the first thing we do is get everybody in the mindset. If something doesn't feel right, because we always get a gut feeling, right?
Right.
If you're not getting, if something doesn't feel right, then go ahead and walk away from it, and it's okay from that. The second part of that is to be aware, to be looking up, down, round, and round, not just keeping your tunnel vision. Tunnel vision will get you killed today. The third thing is to always use your brain, and this sounds very silly, but this is something as a child that my dad would tell me or do with me. So, like, you know, even when you watch movies, always place yourself in that situation, and what would you do?
Right.
I'm always thinking 2 steps, what would I do if this happened?
Right. No.
You gotta think about that.
It's not. Nah, you like, nah, what am I, some weirdo or some shit? Nah, that's real. Because, like, you playing the shit in your mind ahead of time. Well, yo, what would I do? You thinking on your feet if that shit was to happen, somebody was to do this or do that. Nah, that's real. That's real.
Yeah, what would you do? Also, communication is key, right? So we know how to communicate verbally, but you always want to have a mindset where you can use other modes of communication. And I'm not speaking about other languages, but you have to think outside of the box, because if something does happen to anybody, girl, man, or whatever, there's always a small window of opportunity. You don't know when it's going to present itself, but you have to be ready. And then the last thing I teach my daughter, and this is just me, if you're in a situation where you feel like you're going to die anyway, take your chances and do what you can. Because so many people will sit there and wait around like a victim, and you are a victim. But if he's raping you and going to kill you anyway, me personally,
Yeah,
and I know this is what my life is going to be like, then I'm just going to go hard and you're going to do it anyway. But I'm not, you have that choice.
Ain't no holding back. Ain't no holding back.
Yeah, just stay on your toes. If something doesn't look right, pay attention to the details. Know what your friends are wearing. I do that anyway because I like fashion, but know what they got on because if they go missing, at least we know what they had on. Pay attention to your surroundings. If you saw a white van and you're not used to it, just kind of look at it. You don't have to learn the whole tag number, but notice if it has a big dent on the passenger side because it's different. So anything that sticks out is different. You want to be taking some kind of mental note. And we've all been in situations where something just didn't feel right. And you're kind of like, eh. And the one time I didn't trust my gut on one of them, and it didn't feel right. And I said, Candace, and I said to myself, because it was a black guy on a bike, and he looked kind of crazy. And then I thought to myself, now, what the hell I look like talking about this black man on the bike looked kind of crazy, but it didn't feel right. And surely enough, that guy stole my car.
He was up to some bullshit.
First, but I took it out of me like, Candace, this is wrong for you to feel this way, but I was absolutely right in what I felt. Absolutely right. So that's what I tell my daughter. Again, a big one. If I'm not home and you don't know, look through the peephole. You don't have to answer the door. People are coming saying they're heating and cooling guys, and they're coming in and robbing people. But again, that goes back to ignorance because what heating and cooling guy you think could come to my door and say they're going to fix some shit for free? Nothing is free.
No.
Well, shit, I'll put it out there.
But that's happening.
Absolutely. I'll put it out there, too, for the parents. Shit, nobody get in here unless I'm home. You understand what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, office or whoever, I ain't calling nobody and scheduling a goddamn thing unless I'm home.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because, it's true, Candy, that a lot of women don't know that if somebody knock on that door, not to open that motherfucker. It's still a lot of people out there that don't know that.
Yep.
And if you listen...
You don't have to, it's your house. You don't have to answer the door. You don't have to answer the phone. You don't have to do that.
Absolutely.
You don't know, especially, when you're coming, I had somebody knock on my door 2 nights ago, but it was after dark. So my daughter, automatically, she's like, Mommy, if it's a heat and an AC guy, don't answer it because they're robbing people, what I just said. So anyway, I look at it and it's rising, but it's after dark. And so before I opened the door, but I just cracked it to make sure they were who they said they were. And they were just some young kids trying to sell me some files or whatever. But the whole time, you're not going to invite them. They made a joke like, did you cook chicken? You'll never know what I cook because you're not coming in my crib.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So you got to really weigh that. Like, you don't have to know. Like, people, I don't even give people, not in a bad way, like, I don't even give the approachable face to people. And that might not be a good thing, but I don't look like the type of person you want to just run up on.
Well, no, it is a good thing because the truth of the matter is that's all right. I know who I know. You get to a certain age where you like, nigga, I know who I know. That's it.
So exactly.
I don't need no new friends or, nah, homie, I'm good. If I need something, I know how to go and find it. If I need a serviceman, I know how to find it. If I need this done, I know how to go online or look up a reputable situation and call that particular person to come when I'm home. I know how to do that. So for you to just pop up out of the blue, out of no motherfucking way, hey, my name is Joe the plumber. I want to give you my business card. Nah, nigga. I'm good. Have a nice day. You know what I mean? So that's what it is, man. Roddy V, what should these parents be doing, man? It's been a great show, man. I gotta say that. And, we definitely been dropping some nuggets here. And I just find it crazy that so many, again, we don't know the facts. We don't know the numbers as far as the overall amount of young ladies who's been missing or whatever the case may be. But we do know that it's more than 1 or 2 or 3. And with that shit being said, man, what's going on? Is it criminal? Is it Laura? Is it social media? Is it people that they know being paid to bring their asses in? You know, it's all kind of bullshit, man. You know what I mean? Nigga could be scheming all kinds of ways to do to accomplish an agenda. You never know. You know what I mean? But if you got that mindset like, nigga, I ain't falling for no tricks, nigga. I don't know you, I ain't fucking with you. I'm good. You ain't coming to my crib at all. Oh, you a businessman? Oh, you got a card? Nigga, I'm good. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm leaving work, baby. Come and pick me up. You know, that type of shit. I got kids. I got to be vigilant. I got to be on them. I got to make sure they know certain things. I got to be teaching them, talking to them. You know? And again, shit happens. Shit happens all the time. You know? But goddamn, you know. Candy Ice said, you know, if you know it's to the point, you might as well just go all out. At least you went all out. You ain't just walking into no shit blind, you know.
That's how, because there comes a point, and I hate to say it, but there comes a point, especially if you've been taken, that you have to start looking at your option as to what's their intention with you. Clearly, I'm fortunate enough I've never been taken, but that has to be the mindset.
That's the
Somebody
scary
is
shit,
already
man.
evil. You can't sit there and think, oh, this is going to work out for the best. Nobody's coming for you. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Nobody's coming for these girls.
Yeah,
Where are these
and
girls at?
yeah, man, that's the you know
That's the messed up part.
that's the fucked up scary part, man. Can you imagine? You know, can you imagine, man? Is it safe to say, Roddy V? Is it safe to say that these parents don't give a fuck enough about these kids? This is why that's happening. Can we say that without getting shitted on?
No, we can't say that.
Okay.
I think we can, but it'll be wrong to assume that.
Right.
Child if any type of lessons to be learned or discipline, it all starts at home. I mean, and, you know, like I mean, it's sad, in all honesty. It's sad that these are lessons that we have to teach our children.
Very sad.
These are the things that we have to do. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to fill my child's mind with thoughts of somebody snatching them or be keep the eyes open because we don't want this to happen to you. You know, that in part rob them of being a child, man. That shit they shouldn't have to worry about.
Word. I hear you,
But that
man.
goes back to the neighborhood. Maybe they wouldn't have to worry about it as much if we had more sense of community, if people cared about other people. And I don't want to sound soft because I am not a humanitarian by any means, even though I support those who are. But really, like when I grew up on my block, it wasn't really the best block. I'm from West Maple without everybody. And where I grew up, like everybody knew everybody. You know, like my grandparents lived next door. It was a different. Miss Smallwood lived next door on my other side of me. Blunky lived up the street. But the parents knew who they were, and that's not to say they were watching you every day, but they knew who you were, and they knew if something wasn't right, they could get in contact with your parents because your parents cared. And that's what we don't have anymore.
I grew up in an era where your neighbors checked you. You know what I mean? Especially if they knew your mother. If she was doing if you doing something out of line, trust me, they snatched you back into line.
Yep. And we also, the only other role social media plays is we need to teach our children, and I'm big on this. Even on my Facebook page, there's very limited pictures of my daughter. Why? You know how many men? Why do you put kids on the page all day, all heavy, when there's so many perverts? And then why do you let the young girls have? And my daughter got an Instagram. I'm not saying that, But you gotta be monitoring what they're posting.
Oh,
What message are they portraying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm just, I'm looking at the pictures of these young girls, man. Right? And we know, and again, you got to be very careful because this is it's a real delicate situation. But when I look at the picture of these young girls, these are the same type of young girls you see on social media doing all kind of crazy shit, man. And that's just based on the profile of these young girls, the way they look.
Exactly.
The way they look. Y'all can say I'm wrong, but just by the way they look. If I have to use my judgment and somebody said, tell me what you think. I don't know what I'm looking at. What kind of young black women are these? I'm be like, yo, them little shorties from the hood, man.
And I don't know if you can play it, but the topic of the song is Black Girl Lost, and even though that's a whole nother topic, it's still relevant. It's still relevant.
It is.
Because this is what it is.
Yes,
because,
Candy.
We on social media, we're 14-year-olds shaking their ass and dropping it like it's hot, and your mom thinks it's okay.
Yo, but even...
When did that ever be? Let me ever catch my daughter's page. I go on her page. She don't really post. But let me find something that I find to be inappropriate. I have no problem with addressing it. She's taking it down, writing an apology, all that. It's how you represent yourself is a big indicator as to how you will accept being treated.
Because I was listening to a show the other day. Excuse me. And Candy Ice, you're a woman, so I'm going to ask you this question. And the dude was like, well, I'm not even going to ask him. I'm going to say what they were saying, and you could chime in on it. And he was like, yo, actually, a woman said this shit. She was like, yo, if a dude is stalking a chick, she probably, and the guy asked her, it's probably if a dude is stalking a chick, isn't it probably her fault that that's happening? And the chick said, yeah. So it's something that she's doing, and look, I'm just putting it out there and what he said, and the reason why she was saying that is because, yo, she putting herself out there. Her social media page got all kind of butt shots and pussy pops and all kind of crazy shit, and the nigga just thirsty because of the shit he's seeing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So he on her ass because of that. He loked out because of that. And again, it's sensitive, man. These are kids we talking about. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot that goes into it. And again, even on my page, and I'm a grown woman, I've always limited, and people be like, why don't you post more pictures of your daughter? Why should I?
Yeah,
there's a bunch of grown-ass men on my page.
Yes.
And what, they could be looking at my baby like,
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So
True.
It's just, even in how I represent myself, I try not to represent myself in any other fashion than I would want to be approached, if that makes any sense. And some women might be okay with that. That might be what they want, but it's definitely how you portray yourself is how people are going to look at you. You mad when a dude comes up and asks you directly, like, can I fuck for $200 or $100 or whatever it is, but you were showing your whole ass and talking about you just got some new Jordans. What you expecting to correlate?
Yeah, and I mean, you saying that just based on maybe you showing some pictures of your daughter, just some decent pictures,
like some regular pictures,
right? And then you got these young girls on these profiles and shit sticking out their tongues, going live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Showing their nipples, and I'm talking about really letting these niggas have it out here. I see it all the time. I don't, it's all up and down feeds.
Oh, man. Yeah, begging for attention.
You know what I mean? So, and again, when I look at these young girls, I'm like, yo, all right, these parents ain't monitoring these girls. I mean, I don't know these girls, but shit, those girls on Facebook or Instagram, they not being monitored. Not with all that shit on there. Cause okay, well, how you gonna stop it? Cause they can go on there on some other name. Word, your ass ain't gonna have no motherfucking phone on no laptop or no computer, nigga.
Exactly.
Fuck you mean?
Exactly.
Fuck you mean?
That's what people forget. The role of a parent is not to be you can be friends later. So I'm very clear with my
Word.
like, I'm not here to be your friend. later, when you're 25, we be friends. But
Absolutely.
right now, it's
Yes.
my job to raise you to be a productive member of society and to do the best of my ability. And I'll make mistakes, but let's never get it twisted. I can laugh and kiki, but anytime I think a line is even close to being crossed, like, nah, you always remember I'm the president of this camp. And it ain't about, oh, the babies want. Now, who cares what they want? It's our job as parents to give them what they need. People want to be friends with their kids, and part of that could have to do with the fact of they weren't raised properly themselves, which all goes back to what we started weeks ago with the deterioration of the black family. The structure is so gone that people don't know how to be parents. But on the same note, you can look right is right, wrong is wrong. As a culture, we are a culture that was immersed in religion and Christian values. So where did any of that go? Because I still won't do certain things in front of my father. And I still wouldn't want my father to find out I had any kind of page that betrayed me in any kind of way.
That's most
There's
and
still
that's
some accountability.
yes, and that's most decent black females who was brought up with some structure, with some sense of wholesomeness, and who also have a sense of self-respect. You know what I mean?
Yep.
My daughter don't even allow me on her Instagram page.
Well, how old is your daughter, Roddy V?
She's 22.
Oh, well, your daughter's because you got I could dig that. How do you feel about that? Do you press her about that, or you like you know what, baby? I respect that.
She's a grown ass woman. I don't-
True,
that don't bother
because you know what happened with that too, right? Because I know you know what happened with
My
that
whole
shit,
thing
Roddy V. That what happens there is some of the daughters or whatever, the kids, they be like, I don't want you, I want my unks and uncles and aunts and pops on my page and shit. You know what I mean? Cramping my style or whatever the case may be. It may not necessarily be because they're trying to hide something. It's just, they want their space to kind of, you know what I mean, do it and play it the way they play it. And they also don't want your ass to be annoying, fucking with them.
Shit, let me tell you something, man. It doesn't bother me, and it doesn't bother me for the simple fact that I know how she was raised.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I know she's not. My daughter is me. We have the same attitude. She's not going to put herself out there to make herself look crazy in any shape, form, or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Or make herself look crazy or disrespect herself. She's not going to do that.
But she
I
got
see
to
nothing. What happened?
See what I'm saying? You just hit that when you said, I know because of how she was raised. Exactly. It's how we're raising a kid. You don't have to see her page. Just like I really don't flirt with my daughters like I should. She's kind of boring on Instagram. But,
They be,
I don't
yeah.
I don't even open it anticipating finding it. I open it to see if because she don't be sending me pictures, to see if she put any two pictures up. But I know there's not going to be nothing crazy on there because I know how she's raised. So if we invest a little bit more into our children, we will see a lot of things change. For now,
Yo, Dex,
Mm-hmm.
in your neighborhood, how is the neighbors on your block? Do everybody know each other? Is that still something that goes on within your neighborhood?
Only a few, not the whole block.
Is it because they people just distant, or is it because it's you guys been there for a while? 'Cause I know you've been there for a while. So is it because of that, or is it because there's some new people on the block?
There's new people on the block.
Okay.
But the ones that been there for a while, they know each other.
Okay.
They pass each other in the street. But, no one, this block, no one really hangs out on the block. Everybody indoors or in their backyard. So that's how that works.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of, the gist of that.
Well,
But,
the thing is too, man. You know what I'm saying? Parents out there, there's 3 parents that's talking, man. They telling you, we paying attention to our kids. We teaching them things. Cause I would have to say, you know what I mean? For certain things to go on, for certain things to take place. When you talking about 13-year-olds, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, and they're not being monitored, man. You know what I'm saying? They're not being, don't nobody give a fuck. Mom Dukes is on her own shit. She got her own issues. She dealing with her own struggles. She really don't give a fuck. She not raising them the way she's supposed to. She not protecting them the way she's supposed to. You know what I mean? I got a friend of mine, told me, one of his nieces ran away, man. He called me crying and all kind of crazy shit, talking to me about, the young girl ran away and they found her dead, man.
Oh, it's crazy.
You know what I mean? And I'm saying to him, I said, so what happened to you? Was she, yeah, she ran away. She was hanging out with older boys, man, 19, 20 years old. And she was only like 15 years old, man.
That's when you can't control them little girls, and it's out your hand, because it's unfortunate, because the law say if you do this and do that, you'll go to jail. But I'd rather go to jail to protect them from themselves, when you're dealing with your child. And, it's just unfortunate that, because you got some parents out there who really do parent and want to parent the right way, but they make parents scared now to parent the right way. A lot of these, yeah.
No, my bad. Go ahead, B.
Yeah, a lot of these kids, they do know that, and they play on that card, and they pretty much they the turn up. This is the turn up generation, so they want to turn up and turn up
shit
all the time. Yeah, that turn up bullshit. So I tell we got to get a handle of this, and more importantly, what parents need to do, they need to, on a spiritual sense, there need to be some intercession. You need an intercede for these kids. My daughter's 17 years old, my only daughter. And I got two sons. So my point, when they go out, I always say Psalms 21 and 91. It's their refuge. So I know when they go out, they're protected. So I just don't leave it up to me. And then I kick it to them the butt naked raw truth. Especially my daughter, because my daughter. Hey, listen, this is what it is. You got little girls out here, I don't play around with them, because I let her understand that this is real. You're a pretty little girl, and you got some sick mindsets out here, and I will kill a motherfucker. That's what my mindset is. So I want to make sure me and her on the same page.
So what you saying is, do you want Jesus to come back, or do you want the devil to come back first?
Oh man, well, hey.
Because if they fucking with one of yours, the devil might come back first.
The devil himself. Devil himself. So before that even happens, because some parents are, thinking, no, everything's cool. Nah, you got to give it to them the butt naked raw truth of what's going on, so they have an understanding. Don't make them out here so they're naive to these predators, because they don't care. These predators are hard.
Okay, go ahead, Roddy V. We're gonna so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let Roddy V go ahead, and if Candy has got something to say, then we're gonna get into something before we close it out. Okay.
I just want to say this, and if you ask me, it needs to be a little bit more of this, and some people may disagree.
A little bit more what, Roddy V?
Kids are not scared of their parents no more.
Word.
Oh.
And I let the world know right now, I put the fear of God in my kids with me.
But who fault is that, Rod? Hey, Rod, who fault is that? Is that the parent fault, or is that who?
No.
Wait. What's this bullshit? Y'all ain't afraid, nigga. Who fought it? Like, who is promoting that, and who's falling for the bullshit? What parent is falling for that, man? Because how does that get implemented into the situation where the parent is like, oh, hey, I'm scared of you.
No, scared. Discipline and picking that ass.
Right. It took a turn. Excuse me. It took a turn way back when with that Netta Hezbollah case, when they beat that little girl and she died. That's when it turned. That's when beating the kids became criminal.
Yeah, and that was abuse. That wasn't beating out. That wasn't whipping out love. That was fucking.
No,
you know
no,
what I'm saying?
no, that was
Yeah.
that was definite abuse. But that's what they attribute. That's what they attribute discipline to nowadays. But that was the turning point of it. That's when they really said, hey, you know what I mean? You can't be beating on your damn children like that and to the point of death. And so, you start to get a little bit more cases, people start to lose their children a little bit more after that.
Yep.
And then as it progressed,
Candy Ice.
People be scared to get their kids because they're so afraid of catching a child abuse charge. But what I used to tell my daughter was, and after I be there, I just tell her, go tell somebody at school, because what's going to happen? They're going to take you. They ain't going to take me. And believe me, kids are not really, they don't really want to be removed from the home. But you're right. Like, because there's so much child abuse or so many charges you can catch for disciplining your kids, a lot of people stray away from it. But me as a parent, I wasn't raised like that. I was raised old school. I definitely beat my daughter. I didn't beat her to any point that was beyond what I feel like was fair. But they needed that. And that's what's wrong. Nobody smack their kids, but your kids talking out their face. They're disrespectful. You, especially in white households, those teenagers.
Oh, my gosh.
my mother,
Mom, don't bring your ass in my room.
Yeah.
my mother did.
I don't give a fuck what you're saying, Mom.
No.
Crazy shit.
Oh my God. I wouldn't be having this conversation with you right now if I was talking to my mother like that.
Oh, shit. You talking about the whip? You talking about the whip, the ultimate whip.
Man.
But yo,
Yeah.
30 seconds, Dex. This has been a great topic, man. Great topic. 30 seconds. Seriously, what we need to do to protect these young girls moving forward.
Protect these young girls moving forward. It's pretty simple. Parents need to be more proactive in their lives, and and step up to the plate and raise these girls properly. And it's not going to be easy, especially with these ones with the rebellious spirit. But it's your child, and you want to protect them from themselves until they get of good age and have some sense where they'll be able to, make good, solid decisions. Period.
Okay. Exactly. Candy Ice?
I 100% agree with that. We have to start with educating our children. I will say this, it is very hard in a society where even at 8 p.m. you can turn on TV and see damn near gay soft porn on regular cable.
Word.
To raise your children to be wholesome. So if you don't have that opportunity like you want to, you have to make sure you instill the values that you want instilled in them. Meaning, as parents, we're not going to do everything right. But there are certain things and certain values that you can instill in your children that are so deep, you instill so deep that no matter what they see, they'll think past it. So we got to start there. It starts at a young age. Communication is very key when it comes to children. You have to be able to communicate with your children, whether you like what they're saying or not. You want them to talk to you so that you have the opportunity to address whatever things they're going through. But it starts with that. It really does. And just instilling some value in the kids and teaching them to be smart. And just like they used to teach us in school, stranger is danger. If you don't know that, you really don't need to, be talking to them.
So simple.
Right.
There it is. When you see something, say something. Stranger is danger.
Yep.
You got any more slogans? I'm about to put these shits on my shirt. But there it is, man. Y'all drop a comment below, man. Let us know what y'all think about this topic. This is serious, y'all. This is serious. This is not nothing light. This is serious stuff, man. You know what I mean? Serious stuff. You know, our hearts go out to the parents, prayers, all that good stuff, man. You know what I mean?
All right.
Again, this is the Sean G Podcast Show. Candy Ice, Roddy V. Our special guest, Dex. It's been wonderful, y'all. Again, if you're trying to be a guest on the show, hit us up at s.gabriel59@yahoo.com. Again, go to the website, the Sean G Podcast Show, www.theshaungpodcastshow.com. Sign up to be a guest. We would love to get you on here on some of these topics. We do this every Monday, 7 p.m. Hit us up. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's all gravy. Again, if you're a black business out there and you're looking to get some exposure, please hit us up at s.gabriel59@yahoo.com. And we will definitely get your flyer. Whether it's a flyer, whether you have some text, we'll put it in a flyer form for you and have it stroll while the show is playing. So we're looking to support black businesses as well. If you're artists and you want your music to be played on the show, send us an MP3 at the same email. I'm going to be putting all this information up on inside of the video link below. And also on the various websites. Link to the video so that you guys can show. We're going to be doing some big things coming up soon for unsigned artists. I can't give away it all, but you know how that go. All right. It's been a wonderful, wonderful, magnificent, fantastic show. And I want to thank you all for listening. Until next week, peace and love. We out.